I used to think that love was supposed to feel like a fairy tale. You know, the butterflies, the late night calls, the feeling that someone had finally chosen you. And for a while, it was a fairy tale. When he first noticed me, I felt special. I wasn't the type of girl who boys just paid attention to, but he did. He waited for me after class, remembered little things I said, sent good morning texts that made my heart race. I fell hard for him. Soon we were together, and for the first time in my life, I had someone to call mine. But somewhere along the way, things started to change. I just didn't notice it at first. It was little things, canceling plans with my friends because he wanted to see me, skipping my favorite club meetings because he wanted to walk me home, changing the way I dressed because he once mentioned liking a certain style. I'll accompany him to go watch his friends play, even though I felt uncomfortable being in their midst. I told myself it was normal. Love is about compromise, right? But what I didn't realize was that I wasn't just compromising, I was disappearing. I began to feel uneasy, like I needed his approval to feel okay. If he was in a bad mood, I wondered what I did wrong. If he didn't reply fast enough, my stomach twisted in knots. I stopped speaking up when I disagreed with something, stopped doing things I used to love. And worst of all, I didn't even know who I was anymore. One day, my book club team called me to tell me I don't come for meetings anymore, but I shrugged them off. I mean, what was more important than being with Chick? Then my best friend one day at lunch sighed and said I stopped hanging out with them. It's like I disappeared. I laughed it off, telling her it's not true. But deep down, I knew it was the truth. Then came our monthly anniversary. I had spent weeks planning something special. I bought him a little gift, wrote a heartfelt note, but when I surprised him, he just shrugged. Oh, I forgot, it's not that big of a deal, right? He said, and I forced a smile. Yeah, it's not a big deal. But inside, something cracked. That night I sat alone in my room and picked up my old sketchbook, the one I hadn't touched in months. I flipped through the pages, each one filled with pieces of who I used to be. I used to have dreams beyond just being someone's girlfriend. I used to have passions that had nothing to do with impressing someone else. When did I stop being her? And the scariest question of all, if I have to lose myself to keep this love, is it really love? The next day, I met him after school and told him I wanted to break up. He looked confused and asked what I meant. And then I hesitated. I wanted to soften the blow, to say never mind and go back to pretending everything's fine. But then I remembered how it feels to shrink myself just to fit into this relationship. Then I realized this isn't love. This is attachment. This is fear of being alone. This is not me. So for the first time in a long time, I chose myself. I walked away, and even though it hurts, even though my heart aches, I know it's the best decision I've ever made. I started reconnecting with my friends. I picked up my old hobbies. I focused on school again, not for anyone else, but for me. I began to date myself, going on solo coffee dates, watching movies alone, learning to enjoy my own company. I still believe in love, but now I know something I didn't before. Love should never cost you your identity. And when the time is right, when I meet the right person, I'll know, because this time I won't lose myself in the process.